Hello, my name is Gökhan Karakuş, and I'm here today in Milan, Italy at the Milan Design Week, and we're here in the Isola Design District in Isola, which is western Milan, very near the very new Porta Nuova park and development. The Turkish Stones brand, Turkish Stones, represents the export of and the promotion of Turkish stones, Turkish natural stones, marble, travertine, and other natural stones. And we are here in Milan to explain what Turkish stones are about. And this exhibition is actually a library. It's called the Turkish Stones Library. So right here in the middle of our exhibition area, we see about 60 Turkish stones. These are various marbles, travertines, onyx, limestones. And why are we here looking at all these colors? Because Turkey is the homeland of natural stone. Turkey geographically sits between the Alps and the Himalayas in what we call the Alp-Himalaya geologic zone. This zone is the location of most of the natural stones in the world in terms of a concentration. So this geological belt has been, since prehistoric times, the center of also what we can say is stone architecture. So this exhibition shows the stones coming from Turkey and also the architecture that's created from the stones. This combination of architecture and stone has a very old history. And it starts, if we look over here, I'll move over here. Let's start with the history. We have a timeline. So these panels on the wall reflect this timeline. So initially, this is a megalith. In fact, it's not a megalith. It is a copy of a megalith. These are kind of remixes, I'm calling. The design here was designed by Media Design, which is a team that we have here. We have in Istanbul that I lead as head designer. So here we have the Göbekli Tepe limestone megalith. It's a copy of this megalith, but it's in limestone. Why? Because we know that 10,000 years ago in Turkey, in Anatolia, people were working with limestone to create expressive pieces of stone architecture and design. Here, for example, you see an animal shape. So people for 10,000 years ago were recording their surroundings and creating architecture and symbol from what they were seeing and putting them in stone. So this beginning of this history of stone architecture starts here. Turkey today has 600 different kinds of colors and different types of natural stones. Limestone is one of those natural stones. Another one of these 600 different types of stones and over 100 different colors of different types of stone is here the travertine. Turkey is home to some of the world's most interesting travertines. And the Greco-Roman culture, the classical culture, starting in the Greek period, 500 BC, and the classical orders of architecture were organized here in Turkey. And for example, this travertine is coming from the city of Hierapolis, the ancient city of Hierapolis, what we know today as Denizli in Western Turkey. So the travertine is located in this area. And this travertine, as you can see, since ancient times, man has been, we saw in the Göbekli Tepe example, anthropomorphic shapes, animal shapes. But as we move into history, we see more of the use of decorative symbols. And the Ionic pilaster we have here is an example of that. Today in modern Pamukkale, in Western Anatolia, in Western Turkey, this is a major UNESCO site, an archaeological site, and geological site. Travertine is an interesting material. You can see the raw travertine here, raw travertine and the travertine that's finished. In that raw travertine, these holes, it's created because travertine occurs in areas where there's warm water coming up from underneath in volcanic areas, creating these little pockets where the water goes through, creating these textures and these patterns. The patterns of travertine are as vibrant as marble, but travertine we feel is a more accessible material. And as Turkish stones, we included travertine in the library. You can see here we have many types of travertine. We have kind of a yellow rust travertine. We have a silver travertine. These are affected by the other minerals that occur in the particular place the travertine is located. And some of the travertines we know, for example, have more holes in them, you know, so this creates kind of a texture. So you have to imagine this stone has been sitting under the ground for 10 million, 30 million years, and we're able to take it out and create design with this. So this history of working with natural stone is something that we see in Turkey. Moving towards the modern period, we have here the Byzantine Empire and the Hagia Sophia and the use of marble. Here, in terms of marble, you can see what we call in the marble design a book match. So we take this is the Isola cherry marble, and it's book match with like a book. It's opened up so that the veins come together. If you go into the Hagia Sophia, which is the premier building of Byzantine architecture, you can see that this use of marble is decorative, where the natural veining and patterns of the marble are used as a decorative element. Here, the Isola cherry, which is one of our more important of our marbles. We have, as I said, 600 different types of colors and patterns in over 150 different types of stones. And this next to it is the Milas lilac. And you can see here what we call the veins in the design are carried through from one panel to another. So you can see this in the Hagia Sophia. Constantine and later Theodosius, these are the emperors of the Byzantine Empire. They actually created and they curated the marbles in the Hagia Sophia, these colorful marbles on the panels. So if you go to Istanbul, you can see this. Moving back into the Ottoman Turkish period, this is a classical piece of decoration. These pieces here, these panels, are part of the history of stone architecture in Turkey. And the Ottoman classical hammam is one of the most important. This marble you see here is called the Marmara marble. And the Marmara marble is a black and white striped marble. It's coming from the Sea of Marmara, which is next to Istanbul, and has been a source of marble for Istanbul since its creation. If you go to Istanbul, you see Marmara marble throughout all the Ottoman classical examples, in baths, in mosques, in public buildings. So this use of this gray Marmara marble, in fact, the word marble comes from the Sea of Marmara. The Sea of Marmara is the source of the name marble, both in Turkish, but also in Latin and today in Italian and French. So these panels are kind of a timeline of stone architecture. If we look at what's available today from the Turkish stone industry, our key areas are the beige group. This is Anadolu beige. We have white, Anadolu white. We have Anadolu black. And then we have a group of travertines. Amongst the whites, the trend of the last 3 or 4 years has been more towards white. So amongst the Anadolu white group, we have different types of whites, both with here the famous Marmara marble, but without the stripes. This is a Marmara white. As you can see, it's fairly homogeneous, a homogeneous treatment of white. Or obviously, we can have a more stripy version here, striping and veining. With the blacks, the Anadolu black, you definitely have a much more dramatic veining between the black and the white. You have a high contrast. So in the designs, as we spoke out here, as designers, you can take advantage the natural veining patterns to create spatial experiences in rooms by matching the veins. And in a marble such as Anadolu black, you have the opportunity to do that because the contrast between black and white is very dramatic. Now, sometimes, obviously, you want to create concentration points, want to create visual focus throughout your space as a designer, but you also want to create sometimes a background, and that is achieved through the use of more neutral tones, neutral earth tones. And there, these beiges, Anadolu beige, these are coming from Western Turkey in places like Bursa and Bilecik. They create an opportunity for backgrounds. So backgrounds both on the wall, on the ground, on a bar, within a kitchen, or within a bathroom. You can have these with marble. It's important that you can take advantage of different surface treatments. You can have it polished, as we can see here, but back here, you can also have this marmor marble with a more rough, untreated surface. This one is hammer brushed. So the ability to have a polished area and a area which is a more neutral. You can see the dust comes out of it, where you can actually feel the geological aspects of it. So all these marbles and the travertines you can take advantage of different surface treatments, which is one of the key aspects of you working with natural stones, is to work three-dimensionally, but also to work with different surface treatments. I think this is something that designers don't know sometimes, that you can take advantage of it. And as a designer, I like working with marble because it creates a kind of unity, because the piece is one piece. So you can create a kind of very simple form, a very complex design, because of the innate properties of the marble and the veining. Now, in terms of different types of maybe marbles and travertines, there's what we call more exotic types of natural stones. And one of them in Turkey we have is onyx. This is onyx. The onyx is created in areas, we talked about travertine coming from areas where there's hot water, but we also have cold water. So the water creates a kind of almost glass-like. You can see here in the reflection, the light goes inside and bounces around the crystals in here. Each natural stone is in fact somewhat crystalline. That's why it's hard. The natural light goes in, bounces around, creating this slightly, you can see here, slightly transparent surface. So this onyx, whether it's a yellow, whether it's an orange, onyx has tremendous properties as lighting. You can backlight them. You can also top light them, where the light actually is absorbed and bounces back. So if you want to work with light onyx, a brown onyx, yellow onyx, and somewhat even these green onyx is a great opportunity to work with light if you're that kind of designer. Now, these different groups that we talked about, the Anadolu beige, Anadolu white, Anadolu black, travertine, the opportunity to work in color is important. And back here, we have different colors. We talked about the Milas lilac, we talked about the Elazığ cherry, but there's different colors that, for example, this is a popular color that I think designers should take advantage of, which is these greens, these two greens specifically. Today, we're in a period where we have a lot of ecological consciousness, and I think the use of green in interiors, such as green marbles, is a way to create a kind of connection between other natural materials. Marbles work well with other natural materials, such as wood, and such as other materials, such as water even. So working with these greens is, I think, important. A lot of people ask me, because I've been working in stone for many years, how sustainable is Turkish stone? Is it ecologically sensitive? And I think it's important to realize that natural stone has been quarried by human beings for almost 12,000 years. And we do create holes in the ground, but it's important to realize that man has been doing this for many, many years. And the stone itself is recyclable. Obviously, the stone goes back into being stone. It turns into smaller bits of stone. It turns into sand. So natural stone, I believe, is a very sustainable material for both architecture and design, but also moving forward, I think natural stone provides an opportunity to work with other natural materials. It is natural stone after all. It's coming out of the ground. We're using it. It's a natural material. So this is, I think, an important aspect of that. We spoke about the colors, and we spoke about the different ways of working with stone as a designer, whether you want to work digital fabrication. Today in natural stone, you can work with machines such as CNC. You can create, for example, here we did this e-media design, our office design. This is actually a kind of remix. This is not something that you would see in a hammam. You can put this on your wall. But you can create these kind of patterns and then cut them out with a laser jet, a CNC water jet, not a laser jet. You can't do it with a laser jet, with a water jet. But you can also create kind of depth like we saw in the ionic column. Another way of using natural stones is through mosaics. So here we have, this is a design that my office in Turkey has done. This is what we call it's a stackable vase. It's a stackable vase. So this mosaic is actually a kind of cutout from the famous city of Zugma, which is in eastern Turkey, and this mosaic is called the Gypsy Girl. What we did as an office is we tried to take some of the key aspects of that design and try to make it a part of a three-dimensional spatial experience. So this is this vase is stackable. You can do it this way, or you can put it, you can put it this way. Hold on, so you can put it this way, right? So it's a stackable. So it's taking the mosaic, and a marble mosaic was used in the Byzantine period extensively, and also in the Roman period. The Zugma mosaics are coming from the Roman period. So what we did was we tried to take something that was two-dimensional and make it into a three-dimensional object that you could have in your house. And it's all these little tesserae, they're called, are various marbles and travertines coming from Turkey. And the handcraft here is important because in Turkey there is a fine in the Turkish stones industry between fabrication, digital fabrication, but also handcraft. So in this vase, this stackable vase, where you can stack this way, you can put it like this, you can put it next to it, you can make it three-dimensional. We have this balance between excellent craftsmanship and high-end technology. The Turkish stones industry, the Turkish stones, the Istanbul Mineral Exporters Association, the owner of the Turkish stones brand, we encourage you to explore through our turkishstones.org website all the different Turkish stones that are available. At the same time, we ask you to look at different options in natural stones through this library, the Turkish Stones Library exhibition. We designed so that you could take and look at natural stone three-dimensionally. You can hold it. Natural stone is a tactile material. When you touch natural stone, it creates different reactions in the body. We encourage the use of stone in both homes, but also in automobiles. Now we're using natural stone. It can be also transformed into different types of furniture, but beyond just the bathroom and the kitchen. The Turkish stone industry is a very robust and vibrant industry. And all of these different types of Turkish stones are available through many, many manufacturers, many, many fabricators, and many, many quarries throughout Turkey. The ability to work at a high level of craftsmanship and digital fabrication is important. And as a designer, I work with the Turkish stone industry, and I find that they have a very easy correspondence with working with digital fabrication, but also computational design. We map this whole mosaic out computationally on a program and then gave it to the fabricator to be able to create this three-dimensional mosaic vase based on the Zugma Gypsy Girl design. So to kind of wrap up, the Turkish Stones Library takes the wide varieties of Turkish stone, the natural stone available in Turkey today, presents it as a library. We're here at the Isola.design district at the Spazio Gamma to show the different types of Anadolu beige, white, black travertines that are available to designers for their interiors to create expressive conditions in this natural, sustainable material through digital fabrication and craft, but also through color, pattern, light, and all the different aspects that natural stone as a material provide. Natural stone is a unique material, and we as Turkish Stones are happy to be here in Milan at Design Week to show the library of different types of the 650 different colors and 150 stone types available from the homeland of natural stone, from the world's largest, Turkey, which has the world's largest stone reserves, as Turkish Stones. I want to thank you for coming today and listening to us about the Turkish Stones Library, and thank the Isola.design district for hosting us today. If you have any questions, you can refer to us at theturkishstones.org, or you can send me a mail, send Turkish Stones emails. We're available on all social media, Turkish Stones on Instagram, Turkish Stones on Twitter, on LinkedIn. You can find us there, ask us questions, and feel free, and we can answer any of your questions about where you can find these stones, from who you can find these stones, and more technical information. So thank you very much, and have a good day.